Hello everyone, thanks for your coming to listen our analysis of the PRIMARK, and my group's number is 21 and the model number is 7043 SSL, and the model name is Organization of Strategy, and this diagram is shows also member of the my group, and we have some people, so we divided our PowerPoint as the 5 part to introduce the analysis from the PRIMARK, and this is our content. We will follow this order to introduce introduction of PRIMARK and the past analysis for macro environments and the Portal 5 forces analysis for macro environments and the main drivers of influence from the two economic environments to analyze, and finally is the business ethic of PRIMARK. And in the introduction, I will to introduce the background of PRIMARK, and it is a measure of fashion clothing and the makeup to sell the fashion clothing for all kind of all kind of body people, and to sell the makeup product is really cheaper than same level store, and he also sold the household items. And PRIMARK is the top 500 company in the clothing retailer in the world, and means he is really successful in business running in the world. And the major consumers are age of 15 to 40 people, and that shows the market share of the PRIMARK is really widely than other company, and he is to face the all age. It means to face the all age of people. And the third is the PRIMARK's business strategy is called the leadership with the proximity. And fourth is the PRIMARK is a physical bricks and mortar store in the world and really popular in the EU. And he didn't to run any kind of online e-store to sell their products is also a key feature of the PRIMARK. So in the future, some parts we will to analyze this feature. And the second part is the pestle analysis of macro. So this part will from the Tianla analysis. So let's welcome to the Tianla.
Thanks for my partner's introduction. And hello everyone, I'm Bruce, and I will consider the opportunities and effects of each factor's impacts for PRIMARK. And first of all, in the political factors, although PRIMARK has always wanted to be the cheapest clothes retailer, but because of the high VAT problem, they can't keep offering the lower price product to the customer, and it's so difficult, and this will be his threats. And in the economic factors, inflation has decreased, and this may have an impact on PRIMARK, because when the inflation has decreased, that means people got more money to spend on higher quality and more expensive things and that they want to buy. And PRIMARK as a retailer who advocates cheap clothes, this is a threat. And the next is social factor. And the obese population continue to rise, and the size in the market will be changed. This is a new market, and it will give PRIMARK great opportunities to increase its market shares. And on the other hand, the problem of population aging has continued to rise, and PRIMARK's key customer area are about young people, and which will be the problem that PRIMARK has to face. And although PRIMARK does not have a lot of advertisement, but they have a good online platform promotion. They have around 6 million people, Facebook fans in their platform, and the people will pass the word of mouth to PRIMARK for free. And on the other hand, PRIMARK doesn't have an online shopping platform, and at the same time, their competitors have comprehensive online shopping platform. This is a big threat. PRIMARK may lose potential customers because of that. PRIMARK has adopted sustainable materials to make goods, and nowadays people's awareness of environmental protection is growing. So this is a good opportunity for PRIMARK to increase customer loyalty to them. And now I will pass it to my partner to talk about the main influence in the macro environment. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ru Guo. Today I will introduce the main influence in the macro environment. In the first part, I will talk about the technology environment and the social environment. In the technology environment, online shopping is popular with people because of its convenience and speed. And as a result, customers expect to PRIMARK online shopping. And in the social environment, the aging of the UK is growing repeatedly, accounting for one of fifth of the population over the age of 65 in 2018. It will grow to a quarter of in 2028, and PRIMARK will be impacted by the change of the fashion. In the second part, I will analyze the technology environment and the social environment. The technology will continue to play a key role in shopping, the way consumers shop and how retailers communicate and market with them. PRIMARK as a companion, which is most young people in the UK are willing to buy goods. From the development trend in recent years, online shopping has gradually become the main shopping method for people. The profits of PRIMARK sales of goods are not sufficient to support its cost of transportation, so it has no plan to make online shopping in the near future. However, in the past 10 years, PRIMARK has continued to grow in terms of revenue, store size, and the retail space. In an industry where many stores have suffered loss and closed physical stores, customers seem to have moved from street shopping to online shopping. A result that is impressive. It values meet the needs and experience of specific customers base and can be distinguished from competitors. As the repeat aging of the population and immigration trends have changed the composition of British shopping habits in the UK have also begun to develop and reflect this broader demographic change. The growing influence of this growth may lead to a shift in sales to their preferred shopping categories and methods. To attack the healthier of large package for the home mentioned, retailers should benefit from this change clothing, the beer and the soft drink retailers for younger market may force. Above all, technology will cause the PRIMARK to lose part of potential customers. But the price and cost will make it more favorable than other companies. In addition, the aging of the population is also an important reason for the retail sales. People's change to fashion may have caused PRIMARK to change its position to cater to more people. And the next part, my panel will analyze the microenvironment by Porter 5 forces.
Hello, I am Ronan Liu. I will introduce the Porter's 5 forces. This analytical model was formulated in 1979 by the Micro E. Porter, which include the 5 forces. They are threat of new entrants and substitutes, the bargaining power of suppliers and buyers, and the competition intensity. For the competition intensity, the UK retailing industry comprises of very many retailers. This implies that the PRIMARK operates in a very competitive business environment. Additionally, the competitors like the Next and Gap, who have fully exploited the clothing demand for the young people, pose a major threat of driving the company out of market. There are no barriers of entry or exit in the tailoring industry. It means maybe some foreign investors will establish their business in this country. It is intensifying the competition. Moreover, PRIMARK faces competition from lower as well as higher ends in the retailing clothes industry. For instance, Asda offer 2 brands like Mattel and George, which are not only quality clothes but also lower price. Besides, competitors like Gap, Topman, Zara have designed latest clothing fashions that have attracted the younger generation. This implies that the PRIMARK will face the major challenges like lose their market share and a significant number of their clients. In Porter's framework, the substitutes always usually refers to the products from other industry or from other competitors that can be used to serve the same purpose as another product. In economic terms, threat of substitutes arise from a change in the price of the substitutes, which result in change in demand for a company's product. As more substitutes become available, the elasticity of demand of a company's product become high because the customers will have more alternatives to choose from. This is a threat to a company since it is constrained to hike its price. For this, the PRIMARK have managed to keep the risk of threat of substitutes as a minimum level. It can partly be attributed to the fact that the company have a valuable brand. However, a variety of substitutes such as Topshop, Zara, Asda, among others are available. The PRIMARK charges a reasonable price compared to other retailers. They also provide a variety of discounts to their customers. This has further reduced the threat of new substitutes. And next, let my partner Xu Li introduce the other 3 factors in the Porter's framework.
Hello everyone, let me talk about the 3 remaining elements of the Porter's 5 forces analysis. Firstly, the threat of new entrants. On the one hand, PRIMARK has little control over new entrants in the market because of the UK government's lenient policies. It further facilitates the ease of entry. However, the cost of setting up a company in clothing industry is high, so new entrants to this field are paid less. As a result, the threat of new entrants is low. Secondly, it's necessary to manage the bargaining power of supplies. According to the retail detail in 2018, PRIMARK have more than 900 factories across 31 countries and more than 500 Chinese factories, 173 Indian and 78 Turkish factories. Moreover, it doesn't demand much from a single supplier. This means that there is no single supplier who possesses sufficient power to influence raw material prices. So we can see suppliers have low bargaining power. And lastly, the bargaining power of buyers. As the largest retailer store in the UK, PRIMARK has a large customer base. However, there are many players in the industry, so the bargaining power of buyers is relatively high. Buyers are more price sensitive and maybe they will go to many shops and seeking for the lowest price. So customers have many choices offered by their competitors like H&M, Next, and so on. This has been considered as detrimental for the company since it lacks the power to review its prices upwards. Moreover, it can continue to the profitability. Okay, next please. Let's the next partner to talk about the main drivers of micro influence. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ray Feng. In this part, I want to analyze the main drivers of macro-environmental influence. Firstly, I want to talk about the key event. The PRIMARK warns customers to stop buying its products online from Amazon. This phenomenon is not common because so many companies want to cooperate with Amazon. There are 4 reasons after my analysis. Firstly, the profit margin of each product is relatively small. Secondly, the IT system input is not a small number. Thirdly, the return rate will be relatively high because people can't try clothing on the online shop. The last reason is PRIMARK has less inventory problems because their turnover is very fast. Secondly, I want to talk about the competitor analysis. Like other companies, PRIMARK still need to face tough competition with other companies like H&M, Zara, Tesco, and Mark & Spencer. I think Mark & Spencer is the most competitor in the market because Mark & Spencer has better quality and they offers frequently promotion for its customers. They offer a loyalty card and have online sale. So I think they have a better marketing strategies. Thirdly, I want to talk about the threats and opportunities for the future. In such threats, I think PRIMARK's products has poor quality. Secondly, I think they pay less attention to marketing strategies. They don't have too much advertisement and they do not think about too much about the potential market. In opportunities, I think the buyers are developing their ties very rapidly. In the future, I think PRIMARK can choose to cooperate with other hot issue like famous movie, cartoon, and electric games. They can attract more people to buy their products. In the next part, we will talk about the business ethics.
Hello everyone, I'm Yuan Dong. I will talk about business ethics. There are 2 parts. The first part is companies' own evaluation, the roles of globalization and benefits that its offer, particularly low cost of production, has focused PRIMARK to point for oversized production. Developing countries such as China, India, Turkey, and Mexico are the most favorite destinations. At the same time, PRIMARK supports lots of jobs for developing countries. PRIMARK has a long-standing partnership with children's charity New Life, in which PRIMARK donates unsold items from Europe's stores. And finally, PRIMARK doesn't have factories of its own, so each factory had to commit to strict manufacturing requirements before it could work with a local company. This is the second part, the social media comments on PRIMARK's ethics. However, can such as benefit are handed some very negative choices that are related to unethical labor practices. Later in 2008, a BBC undercover investigation reported that the working conditions of workers in Indian factories were spelling clothing to PRIMARK were illegal and unethical. The practice also include child labor, and which is the worst among all unethical practices. Later in December 2008, the women working in those factories was subjected to a variety of unethical labor practices. In 2009, UK supplier was discovered to be using illegal and immigrants as labor and was paid them less than minimum wage, and working conditions were also dangerous. In the worst accidents in history, more than 2,000 people were killed when a building completed because of poor conditions. That events damage companies' reputation. As a result, many consumers boycott companies' products. That's the end of my part.
Okay, thanks for your listening, everyone. And this is our references. Now I provide all the part of the analysis of PRIMARK. So, as here I will provide a little overview of our analysis. So, we all know the PRIMARK is not really good company in the world, but he still is a top 500 company in the world. So, he always do the suitable choice at any time, any situation for them to, such as from the ethics, from the solding choice model. So we can all learn it from the PRIMARK. So that's all. Thanks for your listening.